Hi, this is your math coach, Howie Tutman, presenting What Math Should My First Grader Know? I've recorded videos in the 4 domains or groupings of standards in math for first grade. This video is the first of 5 videos in the measurement and data grouping. The video is about ordering 3 objects by length. If you have any questions or comments, please email me at hrtutman@gmail.com. The complete text of the standard that this video is based upon follows at the end of the video. In the first measurement standard, students need to understand that the length of an object is the measure from one end to the other, and that when they're directly comparing the length of 2 objects, that they'll have to align them. In other words, that at one end, both objects have to be in the same position. Once they do this, they can determine which object is longer or shorter, or if these were heights, which would be taller and which would be shorter. So using this knowledge, the students are expected to order 3 objects by directly comparing 2 objects at a time, and then determining the relative order of the 3 objects. So if we have this red bar, green bar, and blue bar, and we directly compare the red and the green, so we align both endpoints are at the same location, we find that the green bar is longer than the red bar. And then if we compare, we're directly going to compare, we're going to match up the blue to the green. We find that the blue bar is longer than the green bar. Therefore, we know not only is the green bar longer than the red bar, but by the blue bar being longer than the green bar, the blue bar is also longer than the red bar. And therefore, if we were to line up these 3 rods and determine the relative length from shortest to longest, it would be the red, the green, and the blue. In this standard, students are also expected to be able to compare the length of 2 objects using the length of a third object. So to use a practical example, let's say we have this heavy bookcase that's on one side of our room, and we're thinking of moving it to this wall in our room, and we have this amount of space. So basically, we're comparing the length of the bookcase to the length of the space. And what we can do is we could use a string as our third object. So we'd want our first graders to be able to measure the length of the bookcase, and they would start at this one end and stretch that string out straight all the way to the other end. And now they have that length of string, and now they can compare it to this opening in the wall. And then if they find that the length of the string is longer than the opening of the wall, we'd want them to realize that that length of string, once again, is representing the length of this bookcase, and that the bookcase will not fit in this area because the length of the bookcase is longer than this opening in the wall. If you're interested, here's the complete standard that this video, ordering 3 objects by length, is based upon. Order 3 objects by length. Compare the lengths of 2 objects indirectly by using a third object.